Well, it's round 3 of Series 4 of the 60Somethings Sim Racing League GT3 Championship. And today we're at Zandvoort and I have an absolute nightmare. How bad can it be? Well, watch the film and you'll find out. Hello and welcome to another episode of Wolfie's Wheels. Today we're continuing this series of GT3 sim racing with the 60Something Sim Racing League GT3 series. It is actually the 4th time this series has been run, but the first time I've competed in sort of the full series, if you like. We're over at Zandvoort in the Netherlands for round 3. How did it go? Well, as I said in the brief introduction, it went very badly. But first of all, just talk a little bit about Zandvoort. Zandvoort race circuit is in the north of the Netherlands. It's right on the coast. It's give or take 40 to 50 minutes drive from Schiphol, Amsterdam Airport, so it's fairly easily accessible. It was first used in 1948 to race cars, and it's 4.25 kilometres long, has got 14 corners, and I have real issues getting my speed up round this track. Give you some examples. The real life lap record is 1 minute 22 something. The fast sim racers are doing it in sort of 1:34 something. Our fastest guy, Will, was doing it in sort of 1:36s. And most of the guys were actually doing it in 1:38s, and my fastest lap was actually a 1:40. So all in all, pretty difficult for me to do anything. However, as you will see from the film once we get going, my lack of pace was probably the least of my worries today. And so we find ourselves on the grid, and in pole position in car number 5 is Will Rayson in the BMW. In second is Steve Hancock, also in a BMW. In third position is Andy Gore in the Ferrari 296. In fourth is Mike Hansen in the Aston GT3. I'm in 5th place in the Ferrari 296, and at the back of the grid is car number 57, David Blythe, also in a BMW. But David actually is participating in the race, but is not participating in the championship, as you'll see later on. So he didn't want to interfere with the grid positioning, however, is a very fast driver. And as usual, we start the first lap with a helicopter camera view, and we're approaching the start line. All got to be in the right positions, so it's important. Will is out in the front, and you'll see immediately, really, after we get going at the green light, that we get strung out pretty quickly. There's no question that I'm very slow at this track, as you'll see. You'll see David Blythe in the back there in this red BMW. But yeah, you know, it's just amazing how very quickly things got spread out. But I'll shut up at this point, and I'll just interject as and when. And you can already see here, about half a lap in, Will is 1.5 seconds ahead of the guy in second. We're only just in the same shot now. I mean, normally on these helicopter views of the first lap, you get all the cars all bunching together, but you know, I mean, Steve is 1.5 seconds down in the first position, then there's thick end of a second to Andy, then over half a second, another second, and 1.2, so that makes me already 2, 3.5, 4, 5.5. So I'm about 7 seconds behind already. Yeah, kind of bad. As I say, you can't even see all the cars in the same lap anymore. And it's only 4 and a bit kilometres, as I said at the beginning. And then, as usual, we'll jump on board. Here is my start. Lining up, wait for the green lights in the middle of the screen. Here we go, they're going to go green, 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 off we go. And I get a dreadful start and look out to the left. You've got David already coming round like he's on a mission. I'm very wary about cold tyres on the first corner, so I'm taking it a bit easy. It's my excuse. But as you can see in front, David's got a storming start. I didn't say he was a fast driver. And there he is, storming off. I'm never sure whether I should take his hairpin in first or second, so I'll do it in first. But as I say, this isn't a circuit that I'm actually any good at. There are many people who say there aren't any circuits I'm good at, but this is a particularly bad one. In practice, I lost it on this corner quite a lot, so I'm very wary of that. Never know the right line on this corner. This next right hand is quite hard to get the braking point right, there's no real markers. And this left-hander, stick wide, there's a big lump on the inside. It doesn't do you any good, so everybody goes really wide. Again, I'm never sure whether it's first or second. Already, as you can see, a fair way back into the chicane, first or second, never sure. Got to take it easy around here, use the camber of the road, and then come round to the final long right-hander. They have all got names, I just don't know what they are. But our professional service I provide for everybody. Here we go, across the line in last place. Some 7.5 seconds down on the leader already. Look at this from David's perspective. There you go, green. He just jumps me at the start. I mean, wow, what a great start he had. And he overtakes like almost into the first hairpin. Doesn't quite get there, gets his nose up the front. But you know, is a man on a mission. Easily getting around Mike, I think. And you can see the display hasn't updated, so it's still showing him in 6th, but he's actually already up into 4th in hot pursuit of Andy Gore. I'll just ride with him for a little bit. Now, towards the end of the lap, we ride back on with David as he's coming down the start-finish straight. And he's going to get Andy into the hairpin, putting himself up into 3rd, which isn't bad from the very back of the grid, and is now setting off in hot pursuit of Steve. On board now with Steve, coming into the chicane, and on this left-hand side bit here, he gets a back wheel just on the curb and it spins him round. Now, here's the thing. Here we go. 1 car goes past, 2 cars go past, 3 cars go past. I don't go past because I've already got my own problems a bit further down the track. Just a couple of corners behind, I have my own issues. I mentioned this lump here, and of course I meant to hit it. There you go, just saw it bounce, and I'm off. I'm dead. Luckily I don't hit anything solid, so I kind of get away with it. Now let's just take a look at this from the outside view. Here we go in slow motion from the TV cam. You can just see the bounce there, and it just I'm just a passenger at this stage. Try and keep it going. Of course, too much throttle just spins the thing round in first gear, and I don't want to hit the barrier and damage the car because I don't have that good a lock, so I'll take a little bit of time to get back on the track. But we do eventually get back on. So having seen how not to do it, let's ride with Will Rayson, who is right out in the lead, and let's see how it should be done. Now, this is, I'm not going to suggest it's a perfect lap, but it's bloody impressive. I certainly would not criticise it in any way, shape or form. you can just see how fast he is. I mean, it's 14 seconds ahead of David in second after 5 laps. You know, look where I am. I'm 16 seconds in a lap, just about behind. I'm not even gone over the line yet as we're coming around here. The speed difference, I'm doing about 140 through the entrance of that, and it's much faster. You know, let's just watch the lines. So clip on that one. I never do that. I don't go that wide there. I'm always missing the braking. Beautifully done around there. Is he going to hit the big lump on the inside? Of course he isn't. Far too wise. Nicely clipped curb and hammering down towards the chicane. And carrying much more speed than I do, braking later than I do. It's no surprise. He's a lot further ahead. Using the camera on the road. Runs out wide. Doesn't slide on the curb like I did. Steve did. And we're coming up to the last section here. Right-handers. And we go across the line in roundabout just over 1:36. So it was his fastest lap. We got on board now with Mike Hansen, who's in 4th place, just behind Andy Gore, just over half a second behind, just as we start the lap. And you know, not a lot to do other than just sit back and enjoy this. I mean, bearing in mind you can see David in front of Andy in the BMW, and then Steve is quite a long way back, and I'm miles back. I'm not even in the same race. I'm basically back at the airport, but yeah, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. Of course, the battle does go on for some time, and he doesn't want to give the place up. No reason why he should. Nice and wide. That's how you take that, not like I just did. And David's not getting away, but he is there. He's not getting away. So this is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We've got Will right out front on his own. These 3 having a race. Steve a bit behind, and then me just basically hot lapping for the sake of it by now. And come back up to the start finish line and across the line we go. Meantime, I decide it's time to go in the pits, pit entrance, slow down in time, a little bit slow going in, get the pit limiter on. And probably the highlight of my race is this. It's not a bad pit stop. A little bit slow on the entry. I don't have to reverse or get moved, I don't think, when I retake fuel. It's a compulsory pit stop. Everyone's got to stop, slow up to it, but you know, up we go. Here comes the fuel. There's the fuel. Off the jacks. Go, 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 go. And that's it. Back out to the race in last place. Meanwhile, the chase between Mike and Andy continues. We're still not that far away from David, but you know, they're having a great time, these 3, keeping each other honest. And I say Will is just out front somewhere, and then you've got these guys. Just enjoy the action. Interesting, I said it was near the coast. There's a lot of sand dunes around on the track. It kind of is pretty much buried in the dunes. Actually quite near a centre park type holiday resort, so if you fancy going in real life, always take the family, leave them there for the weekend and go and have some racing. Look at this, great. Getting really close. It says 0.69 of a second. I think it looks closer than that, personally. And then David goes in the pits. and they go over the line. And we're back on board with Mike now, in the hot pursuit still of Andy, 0.3 seconds behind. We'll just enjoy the action for the remainder of this lap. I'll try not to rub it on too much, make no promises. First gear out of there, nice. Yeah. I think the shuffling of the order there with David down the fourth is a result of pit stops. Things like that. Not letting Andy get away at all. Nicely clipped apex, lovely. Nicely into the right hander. Don't know what could happen at the end of this lap. I think it could be, Mike could be really close. I mean, there's no reason, of course, for Andy to do anything other than drive out of his skin like he's doing. You know, it's great, enjoyable racing. It's been great fun to do it. Here we go into the chicane. Bang, bang. Nicely up the camber there. Down the camber, I suppose, or up the camber. Into the last section of right-handers. Right-hander 1, right-hander 2. So they've got names, I don't know what they are. And they come out. Third gear, fourth gear. Going. And we are third, fourth. Oh dear, and that's letting them get away. We'll jump back on board here with Will, who's about to come and lap me. I've got the blue flags, get out of the way off the racing line almost, and he comes flying past. So what does it look like from my point of view? Slow it down a bit, and then he goes past a bit in the way. But I might learn some lines here, so we'll be flying through here. Nicely, then I know I might break myself a bit, okay. So yeah, I can't keep up. But you know, things do actually get worse. So we come into the chicane, right hand, left hand. What happens? I'll start drift a bit wide, and he hits the curb, bang, into the barrier, and that's another one. So there we go. But I am at least facing the right way. You can see it better, perhaps, on the outside view, in slow motion. I just go, and then just touch the curb with the back wheel while I've got the throttle on, into the barrier. On my way. Quite a bit of damage done to the car. You can see the bonnet rattling, but I'm not. It's still perfectly drivable. I'm not going to bother getting it fixed. It's not worth it. Start to watch Steve again, who is also having a bit of a mare, but just not as bad as I am. So he's coming around the hairpin, gets it slightly wide, and in the background there is Will, who's about to come up and lap him. And maybe we're all getting tyres are going off a bit. Mike just outbrakes himself a bit, but he manages to hold it all together. See, if I'd done that, I'd have been in the gravel. Still in hot pursuit of David. So Mike's down in third, and Will, as I say, is a race of his own somewhere. But at this stage, David just pulls away. So we watch overhead shot here of Steve trying to get out of the way of Will, gets it a bit wrong and spins. Now again, you would have thought I might be able to capitalise on other people's bad day, but I'm so far back that I can't. And in fact, pushing on, I do this. Not good, in the gravel, and who comes round? There's Will, lapped twice. And really, and look at it from this angle, I can see Steve just in front. Maybe I'm thinking I've got a chance of catching him. He's still 4 seconds down the road. I really don't know what I did then, but I did. And there you go. Now we just cut across to the winners. There we go. There's Will in first place over the line, and then looking back, you can see David pulling off. He doesn't want to get involved in the results, so he doesn't take the second. Mike inherits it, and then Andy goes across in third. Steve gets it's shown as 5th and I get shown as 6th, but of course we will go up one because Dave doesn't want his results in the thing. And there you have it. What a dreadful and disastrous race I had. I think the only bit that went right for me was actually the pit stop, which I was a bit slow going in and possibly slightly missed the pit box, but I didn't get any drive-through penalties or anything, so that's probably about as much as I can take away from this race. Anyway, here are the results. I'll just leave them up for a few seconds. You can always pause the video here just to have a look at them yourself. And there you go. Now, normally at this stage I would also put up the championship standings, but unfortunately I've actually had a bit of a delay in getting this film out, and since the film was made, so the race took place, there's been another race. There's actually been round 4, which will be being released in about a week's time on this channel, so tune in. And the website update reflects the after round 4 position, so I actually can't really tell you what the round 3 positions are. Suffice to say, I didn't have a good time, but you know, others did. It was a very good race for some people, particularly Mike. I think he had a great time there, but yeah, not for me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the film and this episode of Wolf is Wheels. If you did, of course, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, which is, you know, aka a like. Share, tell your mates, whatever. You may even consider subscribing. Now, you might sort of question, well, why would I subscribe? Does it cost me anything? Well, the answer is no. This is one of the few things that is free in this world that you can subscribe to. You can subscribe to YouTube channels and it doesn't cost you anything. But why would you? Well, here is the big advantage for you, the viewer, for subscribing. And that is, in your suggested feeds for YouTube's, the sort of channels that you subscribe to will drive the algorithms to show you promoted content that you actually, say promoted, you know, content that they want to suggest to you to watch. So in other words, if you subscribe to a channel that shows cats, everything in your newsfeed will be cats. If you subscribe to celebrities, everything, or the majority of your newsfeed, your suggested video channels will be celebrities. And similarly, if you like cars or sim racing or motorhomes or whatever, if you subscribe to the Wolf is Wheels channel, your feed will be more full of car stuff, not from me, sim racing stuff, not from me, motorhome stuff, not from me. So you can actually sift through a lot easier the sort of things they're putting at you. Anyway, that's a good reason to subscribe. It's entirely up to you. It's not a monetized channel. I don't get anything out of it. It's just helpful for you if you do subscribe. But in the meantime, that's all there is for today, other than just to wrap up and say thank you so much for watching. It's much appreciated, and I look forward to seeing you in a future episode of our Wolf is Wheels. Bye.